So, what if you opened your eyes and found yourself not just in another place, but in another world, 65 million years in the past? The late Cretaceous period. Everyone's first thought is the dinosaurs. And yeah, they're there, but that's not what gets you, not at first. The first thing you notice is the air. You take a breath and it feels thick. Wrong. That's because the atmosphere back then had way more oxygen than today. About 30 to 35% compared to our 21. And we think, more oxygen, that's good, right? No, not for you. For a modern human, that's toxic. Within hours, you'd start to feel nauseous. Your vision might start to tunnel. Your muscles would twitch. You could have a seizure. The very act of breathing is slowly poisoning you. The air itself is your first enemy. Then you start to process the world around you, and the silence is deafening. But not a quiet silence. It's a loud silence, because you don't hear a single bird, not one chirp or song. That background noise of our entire existence is just gone. Instead, you hear the low, resonant calls of things that are not birds, the buzzing of insects that are larger. And every single rustle in the ferns is something you cannot identify. Your brain has no reference for these sounds, so every one of them registers as a threat. It creates this deep, psychological isolation. The soundscape is alien, and the things you can see. The colors are off. The sky might have a different hue. The plants are a wrong kind of green. Some glisten with weird resins or sticky saps. And if you were to touch them, or worse, try to eat one, you'd be in trouble. Your 5 million year, out-of-date biology has no defense against their chemical compounds. They'd be toxic or hallucinogenic. Which brings us to the most inescapable threat. It's not the giant predator you can see coming. It's the microscopic world. The bacteria in the water, the fungi in the soil, the parasites on every insect. Your immune system is a fortress. But it's a fortress built to defend against medieval invaders. This is an alien bioweapon attack. A simple scratch, a sip from a stream, a mosquito bite could introduce something your body reads as pure science fiction, an infection you couldn't possibly fight. So, let's say you're tough. You fight through the oxygen sickness, you avoid the strange plants, you get incredibly lucky with microbes. You think, okay, I just need to walk to find somewhere safe. Well, the ground is lying to you. You are not in North America. North America doesn't exist yet. You're standing on a landmass called Laramidia, or maybe Appalachia. They're split by a vast, shallow sea that cuts right through the continent. The Rocky Mountains are just being born. The Mississippi River is a dream of the future. Every geographical instinct you have is useless. You are not just lost in the woods, you are lost on a ghost version of your own planet. Now, here's where the narrative you have in your head breaks. Because if you're observant, you might notice other strange things. A pungent, sulfurous smell on the breeze sometimes. A feeling of tension in the animals. In some patches of forest, an eerie, total silence where even the insects are gone. Like something big and terrifying passed through recently and cleared out all life in its wake. And you'd be right to feel a deep background sense of dread. A static anxiety in the world itself. Because you haven't just travelled back in time, you've arrived during the final days, possibly the final hours. The Chicxulub asteroid is on its way. All that strange animal behaviour, the tension, that's the planet, in its own way, sensing the coming storm. You have a front row seat to the worst minute in the last 100 million years to be a living thing on the surface. Realistically, you'd be long dead from the air or the microbes before this even became relevant. But let's keep going anyway. So the sky begins to change, not with clouds, but with a light. A terrible, growing light. It gets brighter than the sun, then the heat pulse arrives. It would flashbake everything on the surface for hundreds of miles. The atmosphere would ignite. And then, the long silence. A rain of hot ash and rock. A global winter that would last for years. This is the aha moment, the perspective shift. The most terrifying thing isn't the death of the dinosaurs, it's what comes after. In the choking dark, under a sky of ash, life continues. Small, furry mammals huddle in burrows. Some tough birds and crocodiles cling on. Cockroaches, of course. And in those burrows are your ancestors. The planet is indifferent. It doesn't need the dinosaurs, and it certainly doesn't need you. It simply continues. You wouldn't have died from a T-Rex, you would have died from being a stranger. A glitch in a system that rejected you on every level: chemical, biological, geographical. Your entire existence would be a footnote in what was, for Earth, just a very bad week. A single dramatic chapter in a story 4.5 billion years long. We think of this as the dinosaurs' world. But it wasn't. It was just the world. And for a little while, we aren't in it.